You're Taking Authority with Bishop Eddie L. Long, Senior Pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Lithonia, Georgia. Recognized as one of the world's leading apostles, Bishop Eddie L. Long is a best-selling author, entrepreneur, and executive producer of an Emmy Award-winning television broadcast that reaches millions of viewers around the world. One of the most influential leaders in America and spiritual leader to the nations, Bishop Eddie L. Long proudly presents today's dynamic message.
Here's a man who still has a charge against him as a murderer. Those of you who are old enough would understand that during the day that Bernie's father was alive, especially in those last few years, he was not celebrated. The president turned on him because of his stance in Vietnam. Many of his colleagues and friends and even preachers and church folk and coloreds did not like him, did not like nonviolence, and wanted by any means necessary. Please hear this. Now that he's dead, we respect him because now he can't threaten nothing. Please hear that. I want you to understand it. Even in the case with Michael Jackson and just from whatever, when you understand, and all of us are weird. Lord knows I am. And I'm not saying he is. I think maybe we are. But when you understand, when you walk with a certain degree of power in any arena, if you were to jump up and buy the rights to the Beatles songs, that's not what you're supposed to be able to do. Now you're starting to control instead of being controlled. You're becoming too powerful. So let's see what we can do to mess up your reputation. Let's label you this. Let's label you this. Watch people who come into power. Power is permitted to a certain degree. And then after that, if you get too strong, hello somebody. And that's the reason why you have to, and I'm praying for our country in reference to, I want us to stand with, you're innocent until proven guilty. Not guilty because you were charged and then the court say you're not guilty and the country still says you're guilty. And I think it's time that we be tried in court and not in newspapers. Hello somebody. And sensationalized by a whole lot of things. So all you who ascribe to be great and powerful, there is a price to that, and you make sure you count the cost. Because when you still and you get to really wheeling and dealing in the right environment at the wrong time or whatever, you will have enemies that you ain't never thought you would ever have dealt with. And you need to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the Lord. So stuff you hear about her family in the media, and that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, how the media dictates things, etc. Your eyes are going to be opened up and all these kind of things. You need to pray through those things and not grab hold of whatever you hear, but know that there's always something behind. I was sitting in a meeting. I'm sorry about that. I was sitting in a meeting with people from other nations. This was before Michael had died. And matter of fact, I was sitting with one of the promoters because I had the ticket. Anyway, I was going to be right there. I was sitting there blown away when he told me how many concerts he sold out in less than an hour or so, 50. And I said, now he might not have been able to do that in America. He said the world laughs at America. He said, because America believes what they read in their press. He said the rest of the world thinks and knows there's something else going on. And that they respect people for